Hi, everybody. This is Tracy Malone from narcissistabusesupport.com. I am here today to talk to those who are going through a divorce or potentially going through a divorce with a narcissist, and they're looking to understand, how do you hire the right lawyer? And this is a tough one because you never know what you're going to get. You just don't know if you might ask them, do they know about narcissists? And they might go, of course I do. And you might think that they actually understand it. There's a lot of other questions that you need to ask a lawyer. And if this person is right for you is the most essential part of this whole equation. Because if you feel icky, if you feel like they're not listening to you, this is not the person, right? In my book, Divorcing Your Narcissist, You Can't Make This Shit Up, I have a chapter and we talk about the shark lawyer. Everybody always wants the shark lawyer because their ex is always gonna have the shark lawyer. But one thing that I also have in there is it's not that we want a shark and not that we want a turtle lawyer. We want a barracuda. And a shark lawyer is one who will fight everything, even if it's not important. Your narcissist's goal, financially ruining you, is to throw so many things out on the table that if your lawyer does not know which ones matter, then you're going to be fighting all of these battles. I had $100,000 divorce to fight battles over $25,000. Like, we fought every battle that was thrown on the table. I didn't know better. And I'm not saying I didn't love my lawyer. I think they did the best they could. But in the situation, we fought too many battles that we didn't need to. We chased ghosts that we didn't need to chase because A, I didn't have kids with him. Not the battle I should have ever, fought. There's so many things inside here that you're going to need to fight and you're going to need to know based on what you want. So the important part before you go out to hire a lawyer. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but it's also in my book. It's an old tactic. It's a trick, is to call all the lawyers in town. You do this little, hi, my name is Tracy Malone, and they're like, okay, and your spouse's name, and you give them that. And they actually check a database because if they've talked to your spouse before, they cannot talk to you legally, even for a consult, even if your spouse didn't hire them. So if you go and talk to all of these different lawyers and you have this kind of conversation, then you could be potentially blocking your ex from hiring some of the best attorneys, right? Some people charge, some lawyers charge for consultations, and it might be $500 or $600. So you're not going to lawyer hop and talk to each one of them. I've had people that do have money and go, I'm going to spend the $500 and I'm going to not be able to afford that very expensive lawyer, but I'm going to block them because I'll pay the one $500 fee for an hour and then it's legitimate and they will not let and work for my ex. So again, it's a game. I'm not saying you want to do this. I'm just saying this is what could happen in your case. A lot of times people get that, we're sorry, there's no room at the inn, or we can't talk to you. We're sorry, there's a conflict. And you go, but my lawyer's name is Tracy. Why are these people saying there's a conflict? That's exactly why, right? If they've already tried to contact them, that's just part of it. So, when you are going to have a consult with a lawyer, first of all, I have a whole chapter on how to hire a lawyer. And I have a plethora of questions. Like if you print it out, it's 4 or 5 pages long. It's a lot of questions. You'll never get this many opportunities to talk and ask questions with a lawyer, even if you're paying that $500 for the hour. But it's what questions on this list matter to you. What questions affect what you're fighting for? If you are worried about the kids, you've got these kind of questions. You've got, financial concerns. We want to head that direction. I do think it's important that you ask them, do they have any knowledge about narcissists, right? And of course, they're all going to be, of course I know, right? That's just what they do. And I'm not saying that they don't legitimately know. What I would rather know more than that is, have you ever been up against one of these types of people? What can I expect? That's going to be a better metric to me than going, do you know about narcissists? Because now we're going to go, you know what? I've been up against them and we can expect A, B, and C. And this is how I'm going to help you. Do you see how the difference is between somebody who says they know about narcissists versus someone that goes, yeah, I've been up against them? Have you ever represented a narcissist? Because they are going to know and see the behaviors. They can pretend to their client that they tolerate it and they're on their side, but in the end, they're going to be like, "This is a weirdo. I don't want that person," right? But they were hired by you, so, or by the narcissist, so they represent them. It happens all the time. Good lawyers represent shitty people. They don't know they're shitty until it all explodes, right? And then they have to be loyal and do their client's bidding. So asking a lawyer if they'd ever represented one of these people is kind of helpful because you're going to get clues. Well, they generally go after this, or they start hiding money this way, or this is what we can expect as far as, tactics and strategies. And here's how we'll combat it. I mean, this is such an important piece, guys, is to just understand how they can help you with a narcissist. Not what do you know? Because again, them knowing it, and I bet a million clients with 5 to 10 lawyers, and they all said, yeah, I know about narcissists, but they don't know the game. They don't know chess with a narcissist. I should make a meme about that. Like, it is a chess game. They do this, we do that. They do this, we do that. We can expect this because they did this. This is what's going to happen next. And here's how we combat it. Here's how we protect you in the end. This is what we fight for. That won't matter. That battle, that accusation, it doesn't matter, right? Let's just use the cheating one. Sometimes we go after trying to prove that we didn't cheat. But unless you're in one of the few states that is a faulted state versus a no fault state, proving that doesn't matter. Proving you are a good parent and countering the lies about that are essential because that's the narcissist tactic. So your lawyer needs to know how to do the right chess. And sometimes chess is 3 moves from now, we're going to have the right result. So you also have to know that you can feel that you could trust them because they've done this before. See how it ties together? All right. So what I tell people, if you are lucky enough, and more and more and more these days, lawyers don't give free consults. But if you're lucky enough to get one, and even if you're paying for that hour for a consult, let's go with under either case, you're getting in there, whether you paid or you didn't. You do not want to waste it telling them your story. Because forget it. You could talk for 15 hours about all the crazy stuff, but you're wasting all that money if it's $500 an hour or all that time to hear what they say. And that's not a good thing. I tell people to create and write and slim down and rewrite and rewrite and rewrite almost a one pager that is going to explain your situation so that they can best tell you how they would help you, right? And on this one sheeter, you'd want to have something like the facts about the divorce. They asked for it. Why are we getting a divorce? But I'm talking a line. I'm not going, and they cheated, and this happened, and that happened, and that happened. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Your lawyer time is over. Thank you very much for playing. And you don't know if you can trust this person because you were the one doing all the talking. So factoids, really just here's what happened, why we're getting a divorce. These are the types of things I have seen: gaslighting, financial abuse, infidelity, NPD, physical abuse, sexual abuse. My concerns are the kids, hiding assets, whatever your concerns are, just have that all mapped out. Again, if you can't fit it on a one sheeter, you're giving them too much information, right? The complexities of the case is also really important on that sheet. And you can make 2 copies, hand them one, so you're not sitting there, or even email it to them beforehand so that they read it without it going against your hour time, right? They're going to sit there, they're going to read it, they're going to understand it, right? But what we're looking for is the marital assets, because this is going to help them determine the complexity of a case. Nobody's going to be able to magically tell you how long it would take, how much it's going to cost, because they don't know what tactics your narcissist is going to pull. Some could be very gentle, some could be hiding assets, some, like mine, will never hand in discovery despite being in contempt 6 times, right? That could happen. How would your lawyer even begin to think about somebody breaking the law 6 times and getting away with it, right? They can't conceive that. They wouldn't even know. But if we look at how they're going to ascertain for you the complexities, it starts with the years you were married, it starts with the kids, starts with your wishes versus what their wishes might be. It starts with sort of the complications. So it might be, we own multiple homes. We have rental properties. We have a boat. We have a plane. We have a business together. Or even if we're not in a business, my ex spouse has a business and maybe they're a doctor and they've got a whole entire partnership and they've got this whole entity that you know nothing about. That's complex. Those are the things that slow things down, right? Ages of kids also can slow things down. If your kids are very young, you've got a lot more details, a lot more planning in the parenting plan. I pray to God that you're taking the time to actually look at the kids' futures, right? But it's how old are they? That determines if they're about to be 18 by the time their divorce is done, we aren't even playing with them in the chess game of divorce, right? So, creating that one sheeter, really coming down, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. And for guys, just the facts, guys, right? It is just for you to know what you're going to say and not to go off into storyland. Like, trauma is trauma, and walking into a divorce office is the most petrifying, scary experience that you will possibly ever had at that point. Your heart is breaking, you're scared. There's so many emotions, and you will story barf. We just do. We just do. I know I did. Story barf, story barf. This has happened and this happened and this happened. Don't use your lawyer at $500 an hour as a therapist. Use me, use a coach, use somebody that can help you dissect it and understand their maneuvers so that you can go on and go, if they did this, our move is this. Here's how we build the evidence against that. And you build that stuff, right? But you can't do that if you have the wrong lawyer. And the wrong lawyer is someone who is emotionally not the one for you. You gotta feel safe. I hired a lawyer after my divorce for my criminal thing with the next narcissist, and he kept saying to me, "You are not the victim here." And I'm going, yes, I was. And he would make me cry, screaming at me that I was not the victim. Why did I hire him? Right? I thought he was a bulldog. I thought he was like the shark. I thought he would take care of me, but he victim blamed me. We don't want a lawyer that is going to turn around and go, really, you're asking for too much, or whatever they are going to sit there and say. That's not worth fighting for. You are the boss. You're the one paying crazy, crazy money. You have to know what you want, and therefore we have to know how to tell the lawyer what you want. That's the next part. So we've given them the factoids, and you have to say, I want the house, or I want this, or I want to sell the house, get my half. I want to understand my rights for parenting time. I want to, fight for more than they have because XYZ. We're going to give them those factoids of abuse and why. You might want more. You might say, I want physical custody, or I want decision making, whatever it is. Then you're asking them, how can they help you get it, right? When you are looking at this conversation, free conversation or hour-long conversation for $500, you want to divide what you're going to talk up into, I say three blocks, right? Like sort of the first 20 minutes is the facts, the situation, that one sheeter. And, again, whether you're reading it and just going, here's what I want you to know, boom, 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 that's 20 minutes, right? Then we go into 20 minutes about what you want. And you have to be really aware of what you want. Sure, you can pay them for $500 to tell you what you are entitled to and what you could ask for, but you could also do that work and just be, I don't know what I don't know, but I would like to stay in the house, or I would like, to have the kids more, or whatever it is. You figure it out and you walk in there, and your lawyer then spends the last 20 minutes telling you how they would help, right? We don't want a sales pitch. We want here's what I'm looking for. How can you help me? And if they go into the sales pitch, we do this and da, 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 right? Fine. Most of a big portion, not a big portion, but a portion of that, how they can help, and where they're doing the speaking here, is how much does this cost? Again, we don't know how long it's going to take, so we can't really get you a price, but you want to know about your deposits. You want to know about work being done by a paralegal. If you can have a paralegal copy the 5,000 pieces of paper versus a lawyer copying 5,000 pieces of paper for $500 an hour. You just need to know paralegals are going to answer your emails, or emails will be answered within X much time. That's one of the biggest frustrations my clients have, is they just don't feel like they're being heard. They send an email and it just goes off into like Netherland. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody's answered it. It's been 2 weeks and you're freaking out and you're panicking, and you need to know from the lawyer, what's their response time? What can you expect? Because if their response time is they're in another case and until your time comes, they're not like going to open your emails, that might be disturbing for you. That might put you into panic and make you ping them more. And so when you ping them more, guess what? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So knowing that they will respond to you within a week will stop you from pinging them with 11 emails that's costing you money for them to read it. They charge by the 6 minutes. So if you send an email, they're going to sit there and that just cost you $100. They still didn't answer it because you didn't know what their response time was going to be. So that's my little thing about hiring a lawyer: deposits, payments, expectations. Try to map out this stuff, map out your one cheater kind of concepts, map out what you want, or what asking them, here's what I want, what else am I entitled to? How can I protect my children? That could be in that little block, what you want, right? Asking them what you're entitled to if you don't know. You might know, I want the house, or I want, 50-50, but you probably don't know a lot of the other things until you really dig into the situation, right? And then how can they help? That is your 60 minutes with a lawyer on an interview. I hope this helped. Every situation is different. Even the 20 pages in my book about questions to ask are all there because you'll probably get 2 or 3 questions in, right? But this is what you want to know. Short. Don't pass them the story. Don't storyboard. Don't tell them the whole thing, because the hour will be gone and you will have no indication of their knowledge, their policies, or how they can help you. This is Tracy Malone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are looking for help, I've got links down below to my website. And best thing you could do is get started by reading my book, Divorcing Your Narcissist. You can't make this shit up. And I named it that way because 3 people in one day walked onto the camera and said the same thing. And I'm like, book name. Thank you. I'll see y'all again soon. Thank you.